Hey, welcome back to Magic City Entertainment. Hopefully you guys are doing great today. So today I want to bring you guys a review of Mafia remake. I've recently just finished this game about 3 days ago, and wow, that game was absolutely fantastic. I mean, I've never played Mafia 1 before. I played the second one and the third one. Second one, fantastic. Third one, honestly. First one tops the second one by a lot. Here's some reasons why. Story. Man, this story was great. I mean, I didn't know what to expect going into it. I kind of did, but I didn't. I had my expectations. My expectations were set pretty high, honestly. When it was announced that they're making a remake of the first one, never got a chance to play the first one at all on PS3, which was, I really wish I kind of did, but I didn't. But now since we got the PS4 and all these graphical standpoints and everything, it was fantastic to play. I enjoyed it a lot. So the story consists of this guy, Tommy, who used to be a cabbie. But then he has a run-in with Paulie and Sam, which I'll get to the characters later. And pretty much from there, you meet the Don. Then there's another Don named Morello and stuff like that. So there's a whole story behind that. But you're following Tommy through his, I would say, ups and downs of running with the Mafia, basically. You know, you start off as a nobody, then you become a somebody. And he became a real somebody, let me tell you. And it's great, honestly. You meet a lot of great characters. But overall, I felt like I like the Tommy story a lot better than all the other stories from Mafia 2 and 3. Tommy's story just felt so complete. You know, ending was great. I'll get into the ending at the end of the video. Ending was really good, honestly. But the story overall was it grabbed you and you just kept wanting more. Like, I couldn't stop playing. Like, literally at one point, I think I played the game for like 4 hours straight. 4 hours. I just kept playing over and over and over. I just kept doing the next mission after mission after mission. Because it's linear to a point where it's only focusing on story missions. There's no side quests at all. There's none. Once you beat the game, you have an option to go free roam, drive around the city, you know, see the visuals and everything. But overall, this game is story-driven based, which I love. I love story-driven based games. But I mean, that's pretty much the story. You're just following through Tommy's eyes of him becoming a mafia. He's joining a mafia and he's becomes almost second in command later on throughout the game. And there's a reason why also, but I won't get into that. I don't want to give any spoilers or anything like that. But next is visuals. Man, the visuals of this game were fantastic. Like, I was really surprised how good some of it looked. There were some issues that I did have some pop-ins and some textures didn't show up. But other than that, besides that, the textures still looked great. The facial models looked really well done. Each character looked great. Voice actors were great. On top of that, each character had their own personality to it. They all didn't feel the same at all. It was like a breath of fresh air, honestly. Because if you look at the very, very first Mafia compared to now how it is, of course, a lot of things have changed, you know, technology and everything. But man, it's a giant leap. Like, I wish they would have done this with the second one, but we didn't do that. But I'm glad they did it with the first one, because the first one, to me, by far, is the best one out of the whole trilogy that they got. Visually, the water looks great. The sky looks amazing. The buildings look flourished. There's so much detail. I remember I walked into a shop, and it was super detailed. Like, it was like an antique store. There was a bear. The bear looked realistic. There was a whole bunch of photos. You could see what the photos look like. All little stuff. Like, you could see every little detail. I mean, they went in depth with this. They went in depth. And I applaud them for that, because those little things makes the game look even better, honestly. Like in the cars. Don't even get me started on the cars. There are those car models look great. Almost look like they literally took photos of the cars and then put them in game, or like they modeled the cars, the old school cars, and then put it in the game. Like it just looked really good. Everything overall looked very good. I don't remember if it snowed. No, it didn't snow, which kind of sucks. I would have loved to have seen snow. And actually, no, I'm wrong. No, it didn't. No, it didn't snow. It rained. There was a lot of raining scenes in the game live. No snow, which kind of sucks. I'm telling you, if it was snowing, that would look so beautiful. But sadly, we didn't get that moment at all. But I mean, other than that, visuals were really very, very good. You know what you're getting from this remake. You're getting damn good graphics visually, like stunning. Even from the screenshots that I'm gonna show you, it still looks very good. Looks absolutely fantastic. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get into these characters because there's quite a few characters. You got Paulie. He's been running with them for a while. Paulie, he's one of those characters like an ambitious type. There's always that one that wants to, prove to the Don that he can do what you think he can't do. And I mean, he did prove it. He did. But you'll see what if you want to see what happens, you can follow my gameplay. I'll leave a playlist at the end. But you'll see all these characters go from having their moments. Paulie had his, Sam had his, and on top of that, you got introduced to these characters. These are the first two characters you get introduced to. And let me tell you, they're interesting. Like, as soon as I met them, like, yo, I like Sam and Paulie. I really do. There was literally one scene where nothing really big, but they went, Tommy went back to the shop, and they had two dudes chasing him. And Paulie comes out with a shotgun talking about, you don't get to leave at all. Like, if you don't want to, you don't got to. Like, I was like, yeah. At that moment, I was like, yeah. Paulie about that life. So is Sam. I'm like, yeah, they about that life. But yeah, those two characters were very interesting. Of course, you got Tommy. He was a very interesting character. Then you got their boss, the Don. I forgot his name. I don't know why I forgot his name, but I forgot his name. He was very interesting. For some weird reason, he reminds me of, he looks just like this one guy. I'm not sure if you guys have seen this movie, Shark Tales. But I'm going to show a comparison. I'm going to show two different photos. You're going to see the photo of the guy from Shark Tales, and then you're going to see a photo of their boss, the Don. He looks identical. I swear, he looks just like that character from Shark Tales. I don't know why. His face just, I don't know. His face just looks like him for some weird reason. I don't know why. It's really weird. But other than that, his character was great. Also, his character though is a hothead. He is a hot head. Like, you don't want to get on his wrong side, because if you do, you done messed up, right? Yeah. And then you got Frank. Frank's basically the accountant. His character was very good, honestly. I mean, niggas learned too much about Frank, but we got to learn enough about Frank. Yeah, Frank character was very good, and each character has their own little story, so that's the good thing. Like, they broke down each and every character very well. And then you have Morello. That's the other Don that they're rivaling against and everything. You get to know his little story and everything. So each character alone has a little unique moment, if you will call it. Now, gameplay. Whew. I didn't run into any real issues with the gameplay or anything like that. Gameplay was smooth and everything. The only thing I would say was the aiming kind of felt off in a way. When you're aiming the guns, it didn't feel very, I don't know, fluent or smooth. Sometimes, but it all depends. With the sensitivity and everything. But still, even with just in the sensitivity, it still didn't feel, I don't know, it still didn't feel like a true shooter, which is not a true shooter, But I'm saying there was a lot of shooting moments, and it didn't feel like smooth, but it was good enough for what it was, honestly. It's not strongly on, shooting and everything. The driving's not bad. The braking is not that great. I actually didn't even tell you how to brake. They told you how to brake, but they didn't tell you how to handbrake. Literally, towards the end of the game, I figured out it was circle. I was like, wait, They didn't tell me this. So I've been, literally, the whole time I was driving, I've been using the brake. I've been using L2 to drift. Like, no. It's like, yeah. And the braking feels super realistic too. Like, you brake too hard, the car goes extremely forward. But if you brake really soft, the car starts to slow down. Like, it feels real. It feels realistic. But once you got the handbrake, once I knew how to use a handbrake, it was easier to brake, honestly. But I wish I had known that, because I didn't know that. There are a lot of chase sequences in the game. Not a lot. I would say there's quite a few. But I mean, I wish I had known that before. But other than that, it's pretty good. The fighting's not bad. It's just triangle button. They have the counter button is triangle. It didn't work like that great, honestly. It wasn't. You would press it, but sometimes it wouldn't work. Yeah, it wasn't that great. But other than that, the gameplay was still pretty smooth. Only a minor issues I ran into it. That was it. Overall, I mean, gameplay was great. The driving was kind of smooth, but I will say, when you get a super duper fast car, there's a mission we have to drive this fast car. That is it's crazy because the gameplay for driving that is bananas. It is all over the place. Unless you go on a racetrack. When you're driving that thing on the street, crazy. The thing is too fast. The braking and the handbrake is too much. Like, your car would just go literally, you'll be driving this way and you want to turn, your car will go this way. Like, that's how fast that car was. You literally have to turn to make it go the way you want it to go. I mean, other than that, it was still fine. Yeah, gameplay and everything else was good. Overall, my experience with this game was fantastic. It was flawless. And I'm going to give this game a score of a 10 out of 10. It gets a seal of approval from Magic City Entertainment. I promise you. You can't go wrong with this game. If you've never, ever played Mafia and you want to get into playing Mafia 1, 2, and 3, I guarantee you, if you play the first game, you're going to want to play the rest. I promise you that. That's pretty much my review. Oh, before I do end it, this is a spoiler alert. Before I end this video, spoiler alert. You're getting warned right now. For the ending, just know that Tommy dies. But it leads into the second game so perfectly. Like, I played the second one and I had no idea about the first one at all. And if I remember correctly, there are little things that they say from the second one that leads to the first one and everything. But just so you know, that's all I wanted to tell you guys. Other than that, the score stays the same, 10 out of 10, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.